Hello viewers, welcome to VAP Student. In this video, we are going to learn API CRUD operations by using Node Js, Express and MongoDB. We are to test the API methods by Postman. So, pillions should avoid showing signals and leave it to the rider. Before going into the video, let me tell you a small but useful traffic tip. At times, the rider would have no intention of turning and the pillion, thinking that he will take a turn along the road, would show hand signal. But at the end, the rider will continue going straight. This act would create sheer confusion on the road.
Let's see the installation of Node Js and Npm in your devices. First, we need to visit the URL given here and click on the latest download. Then, run the exe and this will enable Node Js and Npm in your device. Go to your command prompt and check for the versions like this if necessary. This is the version for Node. And this is the version for Npm.
Create a new folder. Then go to Visual Studio Code. Open the created folder through Visual Studio Code. Now, right-click on the left pane and click on Open in Terminal. For running a program, we need dependency packages. To create the package, type npm init and hit Enter key. It will ask the default questions and we need to press Enter for all the questions. Now it will create package.json. Click on the package.json and you can see the details there. Next, we need to install Express Mongoose body parser. Mongoose serves as the adapter to connect Node Js and MongoDB. It will take some time for installation. After installation, those dependencies can be seen in the package.json. Now, we are going to create a file called index.js which we mentioned in the package.json. In that file, we have to import the dependencies by using a required keyword and assign it to a constant. We need to initiate Express and mention the user input format to our Express. Here, I am using JSON as the input format and I assign the same to my Express. For running Express server in the browser, we need to assign a port number. Here, I am using port number 3000. Now, save the file with Ctrl S. Type node index.js in the terminal and hit Enter. Express server will now be running in the port number 3000 as per the expectation. So far, so good. Now, open MongoDB Compass. Create a DB named HRMSDB and collection named employees like this. In my previous video, you can see the installation of MongoDB in Windows 10. The link is given in the description box.
Let's create a new folder named config in the root folder of our application. This is for keeping the configurations of MongoDB. Now, create a new file named database.config.js inside the config folder with these contents. This is the connection string of MongoDB which I've already installed in my local machine. Now import the database configuration in index.js and connect it to the database using Mongoose. Run the server and make sure that you're able to connect with the database. Next, we are going to define the employee model. Create a new folder called App inside the root folder of our application. Create another folder called Models inside the App folder. Inside that, create a file called emp.model.js. Here, we need to require Mongoose and define the schema of our employees table. Writing timestamps is equal to true will create two new fields, created at and updated at, to the schema. Export this schema so that we can use it in our other JS files. Now, create a new folder called roots inside the app folder. Create a new file called emp.roots.js inside that. This roots method helps the user to call for a specific method simply. Now, create a new folder called controllers inside the app folder. Create a new file called emp.controller.js inside that. These are the CRUD operations we are going to do now. Create, find all, find one, update and delete.
Let's now look at the implementation of the above controller functions one by one. For creating an employee, we need to pass the values to API, set the schema to a module variable, and assign the request body value to the corresponding variable. As per our rules, we have to use post for create method. Import emp.roots.js with require keyword in the index.js file. Save the coding and type node index.js and hit enter in terminal. Server is running. Open Postman, type the URL and select post method. Add the body contents like this and select JSON as the type. Now click the send button and you can see the result. In MongoDB, you can see the inserted values. As I said earlier, created at and updated at fields would have been created. Underscore ID is the default field coming along with each collection with an unique data. Now I am going to add two more data. Successfully inserted. Let me go to MongoDB and refresh. Now you can see all the employees. We can use find and find by ID keyword for retrieving all data or a single data. As per our rules, we have to use get method for find all and find one methods. This coding is for find out. This coding is for find one. Save the coding and type node index.js and hit enter in terminal. Server is running. Open Postman and type the URL and select get method in another tab. You can see all the data in the result. If you pass the ID as the parameter value, then you can see the particular employee. For updating the data, we can use find by ID and update keyword. As per our roots, we have to use put for update method. This coding is for update. Save the coding and type node index.js and hit enter in terminal. Server is running. Open Postman and type the URL. It should be input method in another tab. Add the body content like this and select JSON as the type. Now, I am going to update the employee Muthu into Muthuraman. As per the unique ID parameter, the data will update itself for the particular employee. Let me go to MongoDB and refresh. Now, you can see the employee with his modified data. For deleting a particular data, we can use find by ID and remove keyword. As per our roots, we have to use delete keyword for this method. This coding is for delete. Save the coding and type node index.js and hit enter in terminal. Server is running. Open Postman and type the URL in delete method in another tab. As per the unique ID parameter, the data will be deleted. Let me go to MongoDB and refresh. You can see all the employees except the deleted employee. Over to my dad.
Finally, let me explain the API flowchart for better understanding. First, we have to create an index.js file which has all the required dependencies. One of them is database.config.js, which comes under config folder. In that, we need to add the connection string of MongoDB and connect the DB in index.js file itself. Next, we are going to deal with emp.routes.js from routes folder. This will help us to set the endpoints of our API. Inside that, we have to require our controller named emb.controller.js from controllers folder. This has all the CRUD operations. Then we need to import routes in index.js file. In the emp.controller.js file, we have to require emp.model.js, which comes under models folder. This is the schema of an employee collection. In this emp.model.js file, we have to require Mongoose, which is the adapter to connect Node.js and MongoDB as per the connection string in our config file. Export this schema so that we can use it in our other JS files.
All the CRUD operations are completed by using Node.js, Express and MongoDB. You can download the coding and sample data in the mentioned GitHub link. Practice this and give your class comments, like, appreciation, share and subscribe.